I just want to welcome everybody to the Monday morning Safety Huddle. We are North America's greatest transportation and logistics company, and that is paper transport. My name is Brent Coates. I'm the safety manager from the best fleet in paper transport. We have the best ops team, the best equipment team, the best safety team, and most importantly, the best drivers in the entire company, and that is the Jacksonville fleet. And we are glad to join you this morning. A little chilly for us this morning down here. It was 53 degrees. I actually had to turn the heat on as we drove in this morning, so hopefully it'll warm up and it won't be quite as cold as we move through the day and the sun comes out nice and shiny. But anyway, today I want to talk to you about a couple of things. First off is at the end of the presentation, I want to teach you a little bit about first aid. I want to be able to show you how to save a life by just using your thumb. And if you can use your thumb, and I'll demonstrate how to do that, you'll be able to save a life in the next few weeks if you come across a situation which may require you to do so. But with the holiday time between Thanksgiving and New Year's and Christmas and everything in between, some things that come up. And this morning I want to talk to you about risk management, and specifically personal risk management. Some things that you can do as an individual for yourself and for your family to stay safe during the holiday weekend. And everybody knows that right after Thanksgiving, we have Black Friday, and then today is Cyber Monday, and everybody goes shopping. And shopping is a great time. With the pandemic over the past few years, everybody's been kind of locked in and stayed in. And so now people are getting out, they're enjoying themselves, and they have an opportunity to go back to the stores and malls and get out and do some great shopping and get some great bargains. Sadly enough, when that happens, so does the criminal element. The criminal element likes to seize these opportunities and take advantage of people when they're out shopping and doing Christmas shopping specifically. If you look at the statistics, as the numbers go up for the spending and the shopping, also too do the crimes. And most of the crimes that occur during the shopping season are crimes of opportunity. And so hopefully just a few points this morning to keep yourself from being a victim of crime of opportunity as you do that shopping. One thing is when you go shopping, instead of taking a lot of cash with you, just take your credit card with you. Take either a credit card or debit card to whatever store you may be going to, and limit the amount of cash that you have on hand. As you're standing at the counter, as you're paying, if someone sees a bunch of cash in your hand or a bunch of cash in your purse or in your pocket, you then could become a victim, become a target for people trying to take advantage of you. So as you go, use a credit card, debit card, and just take one, and it makes it easy. Also, too, if you carry a purse, some of the guys carry them. They're actually called, I think, a European satchel is what I remember from a commercial many years ago. If you do that, make sure you carry the purse with the strap over your shoulder and the purse tucked into you, kind of like a football as a fullback running through the line there. What you don't want to do is you don't want to carry that purse by the straps and have it dangling down beside you. If you do, you are creating an opportunity for someone to come up behind you and snatch that purse as you go. And you're probably thinking, well, wait a minute. If I wrap my arm around those straps and I carry it that way, there's no way they can do that. I had a conversation with my wife several years ago about that, and that's what she told me. I'll just wrap that around my wrist, and I'll carry it that way as I go. And what that can do, that can actually cause you to get hurt worse. So if you carry a purse, you have the straps, put the strap over your shoulder, tuck it under your arm like you're carrying a football, and that way you are not making yourself a crime of opportunity for someone coming up behind you. And an easy thing to do instead of carrying a purse at all is carry the clutch type change purse or purses in your hand, and it makes it so much easier. And again, too, makes you less of a target for criminal element out there that are looking to take advantage of you as you're doing your Christmas shopping or holiday shopping, as I'll call it. Also, too, while you do that, if you have packages in stores, if you're like my family, they don't go to just one store, they go to multiple stores at a time. Come back out, put those packages in the car, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you have a car that has a trunk, put them in the trunk, and that way they're nice and secure in the trunk. If you have an SUV or have a type of vehicle that doesn't have a trunk, carry a towel, carry a blanket, and put something over it so people can't just peer into your car and see what you have there and maybe break out your window and take advantage of you and do things like that. So again, secure those packages to the best you can. And something that really has come to light the past several years, and that are Porch Pirates. I don't know about you. I do some shopping on Amazon and Target and Walmart, and we get those packages delivered to our house. And again, the criminal element drives to neighborhoods and looks for those packages on the front porch. They'll run up, grab them, and take off. And I think we've all seen the video clips of that as people do it across the nation. So if you're going to have things delivered, try to have someone there at your house. Try to have an alternate location to a friend or a family member so that there's someone at home that can receive that to cut down on those porch pirates. And certainly if you have a camera system, obviously that would help, but that would be after the fact. So try to think about that as you order things online and have an alternate location to have those packages delivered to you. And above all, as you're shopping, be aware of your surroundings. When you go to a store, the parking lot, make sure you park obviously as close to the door as you can, but also try to park by a light, a well-lit area. If the lights are out, move your car or go to a different location, and you want to park where it's lit. Criminals, the criminal element, they hate lights. They don't like to be seen. And again, we just want you to be safe as you're there. Also, too, if you're walking into or out of the store, we don't want you to be aggressive, but we want you to be able to protect yourself. Hold your keys in your hand and hold one key with the finger like this. And if someone comes up and grabs you or whatever, you can go across the back of the hand, the back of their hand, and it's very painful. You can go across the cheek, go across the side of the face, something like that. It's just simply a key that you could use to protect yourself in the event that someone would come up and grab you and try to take advantage of you. And one last thing about stopping, and then I'll move on. And that is many years ago when my daughter went off to college, I got her one of those little Mace keychains, the little pink one, because she wanted pink. And those are great to have. If you have them, don't leave them in your purse. If you have them, if you walk out to your car, walk out to go to a different store, have that in your hand and have the safety off of it so that if someone does try to attack you or does approach you and threaten you, then you can use that. You can have it in your hand. You don't want to say, hey, time out. Let me get this mace so I can spray with it. You want to have it and you want to be ready with it. And above all, just be safe. Look over your shoulder, know your surroundings, know where you're going, and know what you're doing. And I hate to sound like the Scrooge talking about those things, but unfortunately, during this time of year, the criminal element out there tries to take advantage of people, and we just want you to be safe when you do that and have a safe shopping season. And later on today, if you need to know my sizes or my particulars, if you'll just chat me, I'll be glad to send that to you and let you know, what we could use down here in Jacksonville. And then following along, kind of along the same suit, during this time period, there are a lot of social gatherings. There are athletic events, there are office parties, there's family gatherings, there's holiday parties. And for the first time in a couple of years, people are really getting out. We're getting out, we're enjoying things, we're seeing people that we have not seen for a while, and we need to continue to do that. And almost always at these gatherings are some adult beverages. And if you partake in that, then good for you, and there's nothing at all wrong with that. The only thing that you should do if you're going to those gatherings and you are going to partake in adult beverages, even one, you need to have a designated driver. Designate somebody in the crowd or somebody in your group, whether it's your spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, neighbor, friend, someone who goes with you, let them drive. Let them, and you can rotate from event to event. But whatever you do, don't get behind the wheel after having at least one drink at all. It's just not worth the consequences. Also, too, just a little known fact that you may or may not know. Anytime you're on a roadway, particularly at night, but anytime you're on a limited access highway or divided highway, stay to the right. Stay in the right-hand lane. Most all of your head-on crashes caused by impaired drivers occur in the left-hand or the fast lane, because as an impaired driver, they're driving the wrong way and they drive in that fast lane thinking they're in the right-hand lane, particularly on bridges, curves, hills, things, particularly when you can't see a vehicle coming the other way. So limited access highways, divided highways, stay to the right. And again, too, that's just a safety precaution, risk management that you're doing to reduce your risk of getting involved in a crash. And did you know every 2 minutes someone is injured in a drunk driving crash nationwide? Every 51 minutes, someone is killed in a drunk driving crash nationwide. Drunk driving is still the number one cause of death on our highways. And again, it's just not worth it. And 2 out of 3 people will be impacted by a drunk driver or drunk driving crash in their lifetime, whether it's a family member, whether it's a friend, but you will know someone that has been impacted by a drunk driving crash. It's just not worth it. So if you go out, have a great time, have a good time with your friends, partake in those adult beverages, but get someone else to drive. It's just not worth it. And then finally, since we're talking about driving, let's talk about some safe driving habits. And these are things that you have heard for years and years. And I just want to kind of, go over them again very quickly. First and foremost, wear that seatbelt. Wear that seatbelt properly and properly adjusted. I've had some people that I've seen that don't like that shoulder belt over their shoulder. That shoulder belt will save your life. So have it properly adjusted. Make sure you have that seatbelt on. Not only is it the law, but it may save you from serious injury, and it may even save your life if you're involved in a serious incident. Also, too, distracted driving. And the first thing that comes to mind a lot of times are cell phones. And cell phones are certainly distracted driving, and we don't want you to use those while you're driving. Also, too, the new thing that's kind of come out is that smartphone. People are texting on that smartphone as they're driving, one hand on the wheel, the other hand on the smartphone. Leave all that behind. Leave that until you get somewhere stopped and you can do it. Don't even do it at a red light when you're waiting for other traffic. It's just not worth the risk. We talk about distracted driving, not just cell phones or electronic devices, but also too, how many of you have children in the car, young kids? I don't know if they're like my grandkids or my kids were. They're not quiet in the back seat. There's always something going on, and back and forth. We all get distracted for something. And again, just make sure that we try to eliminate or reduce those distractions that we're driving out there. I already talked about the drinking and driving, and also too buzz driving. It's not just being the falling down drunk that gets involved in a crash. It's again one or two drinks, and again it's called buzz driving that you're out there. Just don't do it. Just want you to be safe. And then lastly, under the safe driving category rather, is that is speeding. Speeding is the number one factor involved in all crashes across the nation. Speeding is very deadly. And I will tell you, based on my previous career, I heard this for a number of years, and they say speeding kills. Well, I will tell you, absolutely, that is a lie. Speeding does not kill. What kills is the sudden stop at the end. Sudden stop at the end is what kills you. Don't do it. It's not worth it. You're going to save a few minutes no matter where you're going, and it's just not worth it. And then finally, I did say that at the beginning, that I was going to show you a first aid technique by using your thumb, something that you could do to possibly save a life. In my previous career, I was a certified USDOT medical first responder train the trainer. So I had an opportunity to train a lot of personnel in the first response, medical techniques as a first responder. And one thing you could do, see if I can get this up on the screen there, is you want to be able to use your thumb. You can take your hand like this, or you can put it like this. And if you're out and you've had too much to drink and you shouldn't be driving, use that thumb or use your thumbs to text somebody to come get you. Use that thumb to call somebody to come and get you. Do not get behind that wheel. Do not let someone you love, someone you know, or a friend of yours to get involved or get in the vehicle after they've had too much to drink or after they've been drinking. That thumb right there will save your life. It will save the life of others. And again, wish all of you a safe and happy holiday season coming from the Jacksonville fleet, the paper transport's greatest fleet. I don't know if I mentioned that or not, but thank you so much for your attention this morning. Be safe during the holidays. Happy holidays to each and every one of you, and thank you so much. Have a great day.